Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Janae Cherie, and holy crap, we are here to talk about my tits today. And this is probably not going to be one of the most serious of the videos I have done, but I just had to share this experience with you because it is insane. As you know, a month ago, I had my double mastectomy, and in that process, they of course removed all the tissue and they put expanders in. And very interesting, so when they put the expanders in under the skin, they filled them slightly with air, just so that the breasts would maintain some semblance of a shape and the skin wouldn't all tighten up and heal on itself. So that's what I woke up with. I had these little pancake titties filled with air, and they were very kind of flat, wonky shaped. You all saw, there's a video of me seeing them for the first time if you haven't seen it, but they did not look normal. They did not feel normal. They looked very different than they used to. It was a very emotional experience, but it is what it is. And the idea with the expanders is that the doctor will slowly fill them until they reach your final capacity. And then eventually, after the skin, everything's healed and after chemo's done and all the other medical stuff is done, they'll go in, put a slice down the side, pull out the expander, put in the permanent implants, and you're good to go. 2 weeks ago, I went to visit my plastic surgeon, and he was examining the incisions, and he says, well, it looks like everything's healed enough and you're healthy enough, we can do the swap from air to saline. I said, okay, whatever you want to do. So they had me lie on the medical bed, and he took this pen that has a little magnet on the end, which this is a dry erase marker, but use your imagination. So he took this pen and he started going around here, and he found something and he marked a dot, and he did on the other side and he marked a dot. So what he was doing is using this magnetic pen to figure out where is the port, which is surrounded by magnets, so that he knows where to inject the saline into the tissue. And so he finds it, he marks it, and then he takes this big long needle, big needle, thick needle, and puts it in the skin, and he sucks it out, and he sucks out all the air from the breast. And I remember looking down and going, holy crap, because granted, they were not that big before, but so if you just imagine these little tiny pancake boobs, and all of a sudden one of them goes, whoop, and then he turns a little dial on the needle, and it's attached to saline that's hanging from the wall. And then all of a sudden he starts jamming this, again, giant needle and syringe. And he starts jamming the fluid in, and if I can remember what I just did. So, sucks the air out, and then he starts pumping on this giant syringe, and it started like, and it goes back to what it was before. And then he goes the other side, and flat, and then and now I've got little pancake tits again. And they really did feel like pancake tits because it was not distributed. You could kind of feel it moving around. The expanders are like attached to the muscle inside, but then you can just kind of, nothing feels quite right. But switching it from air to saline there was one marked difference. So even though it looked the same, it was significantly heavier than the air. And so you could kind of feel it pulling on the incisions under the breast. So that was interesting, and not admittedly the most comfortable thing in the world, but it was what it was. This is just one step on the way to my future titties, and so it is what it is. Well, last Friday, I went in for another checkup, and he says, all right, I think we're ready to do another refill. And thank goodness these refills are cheaper than current gas prices, or I wouldn't be able to afford it. But he says, I think we're ready. Okay, let's go for it, doctor. And same thing, except this time, instead of making me flat, he just puts the needle in, and he starts jamming on this giant syringe. And oh my God. So the first time he added 200 cc's. So like I said, my little pancake tits, 200 cc's. He only added 200 cc's more, but I don't know what he did. They are erect and at attention. They are feel like they're bulging at the seams. I guess my previous pre-surgery titties were not 400 cc's worth, because it feels like they definitely look bigger. They're way more perky, but of course that's also because the expanders, they don't have a normal shape. I'm told that the permanent implants are going to have a more normal shape. But right now, they're just like, boom, and you can't really see. They're like they're here. They're very, very. I'm very aware of them. I feel like a robot, like with the or no, what's a better example? What's the woman with had the giant pointy tits? That's what I feel like right now. But I feel like a robot, or like it's gonna pop out like in Austin Powers, and there's gonna be, machine guns popping out the nipples, because that's how like robotic it feels right now. And so they're filled with saline. And if you've ever felt a water balloon that feels like it's gonna pop, that's what feels like it's inside my chest right now. And it does not feel good. It feels like I have 2 bricks inside my chest. Does not feel like normal breast tissue. It doesn't give like normal breast tissue. I'm told that the permanent implants will have a little more give and feel a little more natural with the whole silicone instead of saline. But that does not what it feels like right now. And they're so uncomfortable. And the dogs will like jump on your lap and they'll bump them. And it feels like they're slamming a brick into your rib cage. And so it hurts. My tits are like weapons right now. I have genuinely bumped into things, like trying to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. You just sometimes might bump in the wall, and I'm like, oh, oh, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, and then even better, so the double mastectomy, they cut everything. They cut all the nerve endings, and they remove all the tissue. I can't feel my skin. My skin, for the most part, I can't feel it. So when I touch myself and I'm trying to feel around, it feels like I am groping another woman's tits, because I genuinely cannot feel my hands on them. It is the weirdest feeling. It feels very, very much like I'm assaulting someone else, except that I know it's me. I know it's consensual, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like that I might have accidentally grabbed another woman's tits, and I'm like, oh my God, who's here? Just kidding. But it's a very weird feeling, not being able to feel your own hands on your body. So anyhow, that's my tits. So when they're filling me up, I genuinely feel like a transformer, especially at the beginning when they emptying and then raising up again. I felt like a complete transformer. So anyways, if you have any questions about my tits, feel free to post them in the comments. Make sure to subscribe so that you can get alerts next time I post. Thank you all for being here with me. I am Janae Cherie. I'm here to tell my stories, and I hope you had fun.